Hey, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tobias, and on my channel I talk about music. And from time to time you also get some Swinglish thrown in there. Today I'm just going to do a short video. Yes, lo and behold, a short one for change. Because the weather is getting really nice here in the UK at least, and I hope for you guys as well it's getting better and you feel that summer is coming, it's getting warmer. And I started thinking about summer hits. It was a big phenomenon back when I was younger, growing up in Sweden. We used to call them sommarplågor, which is roughly translated to summer plagues. But for the sake of this video, I was just going to call them summer hits. Because it sounds so much nicer than a plague. But I think the reason we call them plagues is because it was the hits of that summer. Most people were on holiday at that time, and when you were in your car, when you were in your home or shopping, you heard this on radio constantly. Because back then, radio, that was where we got all the new music from. Everyone was listening to radio basically, and these hits of the summer were being played everywhere to death basically, so you got so tired of them. Well, most of the time. There are some exceptions to that rule where I actually never got tired of them. But is it as relevant as it used to be, the summer hit, for the music industry, that is, to put out something that is summery, that we can relate to, that we will buy during our summer holiday? I don't know, and I don't know really where to go with this one, so this whole episode is already shot. Well, not really. I'm going to talk about some of my memories from summers past. It could be things that were genuine summer hits, or it could be tunes that I just associate with a particular summer, and so forth and so on. But I'll put the question out for you guys, because I might just be lost when it comes to the music industry. So what do you think about this whole phenomena with the summer hit? That is my first question for this episode. There will be more to you guys. So, for example, last summer, the big hit for me and for so many others, the really big one, was this, Kylie's Padam Padam. Yeah, this is the first time that I can remember in many years associating a specific track with a specific summer. But this one did it, and that's why I started thinking about this thing, is it still something that we think of when listening to music during the summer? Of course, if you have a specific memory of that summer and a song is being played in conjunction with that memory and so forth and so on, you will have memories of that. Of course, I know that, but yeah, it's a broader question. It's very hazy, really. But never mind. Let's continue down memory lane, shall we? This is Rick Fellini, and welcome to Rimini. This is something that I have to say I rediscovered from my collection back, I think it was in 2019. It was during my summer holiday. I was going through my record collection and I pulled a couple of records from that I haven't listened to for years, and this was one of them. Rick Fellini I discovered, I think, in perhaps 1985 or something like that, through it was a series of records called Mix Max, or was it Max Mix? 1, 2, 3, 4. They were made by two either Italian DJs or Spanish DJs. Once again, I can't really remember what it was. But I used to love those albums, and they were mix albums, compilations of sorts. And that's where I heard Rick Fellini the first time. I think it could have been from the first compilation, and Welcome to Rimini. I fell in love straight away. I have so many fond memories of this one. And to my recollection, it was during a summer when I heard it at a friend's place. And then digging through my collection in 2019, during the summer as well, I picked this one up again. So I rediscovered it of sorts. Yeah. So yeah, it brings out a lot of summer feelings in me. A very summery, laid-back track by Rick Fellini. I think it's categorized as Italo disco. I'm not sure, but yeah. Another one, a big one that I'm sure we all remember from different summers throughout the years, is this one. Bananarama and Cruel Summer. This one was released in 1983, I think leading up to the summer of 1983, and it was a big hit for them internationally as well. It was a smash hit in the US, and throughout the years we got the different iterations of this one, remixes, so forth and so on. And it also popped up in some movies and TV series when they need to illustrate a really hot summer's day. This one comes on in the background. For sure. And this is the exception to the rule that I mentioned before. This is a track that I heard so many times, but I never get tired of it. I think it's a brilliant, brilliant one. But on the other hand, I'm biased. It's Bananarama. So, yeah. So those were a couple of them. The last one I pulled from my collection, just to stroll down memory lane and summer hits, is this one from 1987. This is Madonna's Who's That Girl? Have very, very fond memories of this one. This became my song of that summer of 1987. This exact copy I picked up in Germany when I was there on holiday with my father and my sister. And I remember I couldn't wait until we got home again to just to get to listen to this one. And it's such a brilliant one. And she had a really good year, because if I'm not mistaken, that same summer she released La Isla Bonita as well. So it was a really, really good summer for Madonna. That was some of my memories from past summers. And what about this summer? What is my predictions for this summer? Well, I can't really tell you, because I try to listen to a lot of contemporary music. I'm curious that way, so I always try to give them a listen, give them a chance. I'm not one of those guys saying, oh, music was so much better back in the day, because it's not really true. But that's a discussion for another time. But yeah, I have so many records from back, especially in the 1980s and 1990s. So that's usually what I turn to, listening to music. But from time to time, I force myself to go out there and listen to something new. And the newest record I got in my collection, and my only real prediction for this contender of summer hit of 2024, is this one behind me. This is Dua Lipa's latest album, and from that one, the latest single is Illusion. And yeah, I discovered Dua Lipa during the pandemic, the lockdown as it was here in the UK. That's where I discovered her previous album. And ever since then, I've just been looking forward to her releasing something new, and that happened earlier this year. Where she released Houdini to begin with. It was actually late last year. And then we got to Training Day, and then eventually Illusion, and then this one last week. So yeah, I think it's a great one, by the way. And perhaps not as strong as her previous one, but yeah, we'll save that for another video. But yeah, that is my prediction for this year's summer hit. It could be Illusion. It could be another single taken from this album. So we'll just say this is my bet. This album will be one of the summer hits. She's headlining Glastonbury this year as well, so it's a big buzz around Dua Lipa this year. Really, really big. But of course, we have other big artists out there, and small artists as well, that are shooting up the charts. I just had a look at Spotify before starting filming this one. We have Beyonce, of course, just released an album. Taylor Swift, never underestimate her. But listening back to some of the tracks from her latest album, I can't really find one of those banging pop tunes that we used to get, at least one of them per album for Taylor Swift. I can't hear any of that on her new album, but I might be wrong. So we'll just have to wait and see. And like I said, there's a plethora of artists out there just competing for being the new hit single, or perhaps summer hit. Who knows? And in that vein, I just want to mention another one that was sent to me by a really good friend. So I got this one in the post yesterday. This is Perry and a song called Forget About Us. Perry, I learned, is a former member of Little Mix, which was a girl group here from the UK. They were massive here, and I'm not sure if they were as big outside of UK. But here they were really, really popular. Yeah, so Perry is a former member of Little Mix, and I'm not an authority on Little Mix at all. I know them by name. If you force me to name a song by them, I would have a really hard time. Anyhow, so here is Perry's first solo outing, and this is actually a 7-inch it's released on, and I think it's released on other formats as well, CD and cassette and all that. And I have to say, after listening to this one, and this is just a brief review of this one, it's a very summery song. It's got that summery feel to it. The lyrics is all about love that once was, a relationship that once was, and the memories that goes with that. And it's penned by Ed Sheeran and Perry herself. And she has a beautiful voice. I think it's really great. But the song itself, it doesn't really stick out to me. It's a bit too safe, I would say. It's not a dance track per se. It's just a feel-good song, really summery song. So it might go well for Perry, who knows? But I also saw that this one was released last month in April, and I think in the beginning of April even. And it's a bit early for a summer single in some cases, because the weather's been miserable here in the UK, for example. So we haven't even thought about summer. It's just the last couple of days, like I said, it's been really warm and nice. So who knows, because this one did climb to the top of the charts when it was released. There was a lot of interviews doing, a lot of PR around Perry, but since then it has fizzled out a bit, I think. But it could breathe new life into this one with a nice weather coming on and people start relating more to the summery theme of this. Who knows? I wish her all the best. She's got a great voice, and perhaps we'll see something else from Perry as well. Perhaps a new singles coming out this summer. Who knows? And that will be the big hit of 2024. Summer of 2024, that is. Yeah, so now back to you guys. What do you think? Do you have any predictions about this year's summer hits? Is there a specific favorite of yours, and so forth and so on? But most importantly, because I talk a lot about memory lane here, going back in time, listening to old records from the 80s and 90s. Do you have a specific memory of a summer hit, or a song that wasn't really a summer hit, but you associate it very much with summer, like me with Rick Fellini that I showed you earlier? Something like that. Just memories of it, perhaps an interesting story behind that song is something that is connected to that song. Who knows? Could be anything. Put it down in the comments, folks. I would love to hear those memories and some of your predictions for this year's summer hit. Well, that's it. I want to thank you all for watching another video by me, and until next time, you all take care of yourself, and adieu. Vamos a la playa.